Welcome again to another session. Today we're going to be talking about how to successfully start a design project. So if you are just starting out, you're a beginner or you're a junior designer and you're still finding it a little bit rough, at the beginning of a new project, then this is the right place for you to be. My name is Lizzie Downsy and I'm a product designer and a design manager. Okay, if you know anybody that this video is going to be useful to, please share it with them right now. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. So how to start a design project. Okay, so maybe for experts, it might be very easy because you have been doing this for a very long time, but for people that are not yet very used to this lifestyle yet, or you just start, or maybe the way you start, just start anyhow, like and just find yourself doing the project, but you want to know the exact way to start, like the appropriate way to start. That's what we're going to be treating in this video, right? So how do you start a design project? Yeah, there are a lot of things that you need to put in place. You need to understand the project, you need to make research, you need to plan, you need to define, you need to create, refine, present, and deliver. All of these things are what you need to do in order to start a project, like start in a structured and organized manner. All right. So what you need to understand exactly? Let's dive into it. All right. You need to understand the project. Yeah, the projects you are actually dealing with. So somebody came to you say, "Hey Lizzie, I have this logistics app that I want to work on, and I need your help. I need a UI designer to work on it. Or I need a UI UX designer to work on it for me." The first thing that you want to do is not to worry about the pricing, because I have a lot of people come to me like, "Oh Lizzie, this person reached out to me. I don't know what to charge them. Blah blah blah." All right. And then we try to figure it out. But I want you to know that pricing is not your problem at the beginning. What your problem is at the beginning is to understand what the client wants to do or what the stakeholder wants to do. It could be a freelancing job, it could be a project at your respective companies, okay? It could be any kind of design project, a graphic design project, UI UX design project, a 3D, whatsoever kind of design that you are specialized in, all right? You just need to understand. Once the client tells you, "Oh, hi, I need your help. I need to do this for me." All right, make them feel welcome, make them feel comfortable. You can even appreciate them for reaching out to you. All right. And then the next thing is ask them, "Please, when are you going to be free so that we can go over this?" So that's your first meeting. Okay. So talk to your stakeholder doing that. So in the course of this meeting, you talk to them like, okay, please, can you tell me about this project? What you have in your head? What do you have in your mind? So they don't expect to know what the clients want. Please get it out of them completely. Okay, how do you get out from them? Let them talk. You jot, then you ask questions. The kind of questions you are going to ask, I won't be the one to tell you. The kind of questions you ask depends on what the client tells you, based on the project that it is. But ensure that you ask them very important questions that is needed for you to design the project. You're all right. So make clarifications. Who are we? What are we doing exactly? Okay, it is a logistics app, for instance. Okay. Oh, so are you trying to say you can ask them questions like, "Oh, are you trying to say that we're going to have customers and we're going to have dispatch?" You expect them to respond, okay? Okay, so the dispatchers, how are we sourcing them? Do we have dispatchers? So now we're using we because you're involved in the project. It's not just your client. So you cannot be saying, "Are you going to be?" It will look as if you're separating yourself away from the project. And you have to be in your project. Your head has to be in the project because you're the one that wants to design this experience for your client. So you need to in quotes, the entire thing. Okay, so you ask them questions. Are we outsourcing? Do we have these people already? What's their operations gonna be like? And all of those things. You need to ask them because you have to factor all of this into the design. You understand? If you're going to be an alien app, you need to understand how to design an alien app. If it's that they're already somewhere, like they're already existing, you need to understand how you're going to design it. That when somebody requests a dispatch, do you put the button in the right place that pulls them from wherever it is that they are and get them to deliver the product. You understand? What are the people you are targeting? Are you targeting children? Are you targeting, excuse me, adults? Are you targeting factories? Are you targeting companies? All right. All of these are very important. So you ask questions. Don't only ask questions about the audience because, after they've told you who their audience is, that doesn't end it for you. You still have to go and make research about why this audience, where are they? What are the kind of things that they do? How would you expect them to use the product? Okay, ask questions. After you have asked a lot of questions and you are sure that you are good to go, then you need to reiterate back to your client, back to your stakeholder, the deliverables that they're expecting from you. So during the meeting or the call, ensure that you are jotting or you are recording. If you are recording and you need a day or two to get back to them, you just need to tell them that, okay, can you give me a day or two to put all of these things together? And then I'm going to share you a PRD, a product requirement document. It is like a brief of what the project is going to be about. Okay, and if you can do it right there on the call through your jotting, okay, just reiterate the key deliverables back to them and ensure that the both of you are on the same page or all of you are on the same page. Okay, so repeat it back to them. So you said we're going to be doing A, you said we're going to be doing B, you said we should not do C, right? You said we should remove D, you said we should include D, you said you're expecting this. So I are paying attention to their responses. I am, taking notes of all of those things. Okay, so once you're done with that, the next thing you want to do is talk about constraints. It is very important for you to talk about constraints. A lot of people don't talk about constraints. That's why you have to go back and forth 1 million times before you complete a project. All right. That's why you have to, talk about constraints. Recently, I worked on a project and the constraint I had to deal with was black theme and font. Okay. There was already a type of font that the client wanted. I just needed to find that font. That was easy. The other one was that the client doesn't like black, doesn't like dark theme. Okay, and there's something I need to mention to you. In the course of you understanding the project, please ask them to send samples of other websites or projects that they have seen, that they have liked. Share them with you. It is very important because you want to know where their head is at. Because there's some things that they will not mention when they are talking to you. And then when you go through those websites, when you go through those apps, for instance, you'll be able to ask them questions relating to them. Then you'll be able to get more information from them. You getting me? So talk about constraints. So as I was saying, my client doesn't want anything that has to do with acting, and the samples of website that she sent to me that she liked, 60% of them were acting, and they have glassy feels, you know. And she said she doesn't want anything dark. So I had to, talk to her like, okay, I understand, because it's very important for you to ask them, this site you are sending to me, what do you like about it? Why do you admire it? And pay attention to the kind of things that they are, because you don't want to change it and you want to give them that same admiration, that same feel. Then don't forget to ask them, what don't you like about this website? Because you don't want to repeat it in the years or in the new project that you're working on. Okay. So I talked to her and I'm like, okay, I see these are the things you like. This is love, this is nice. But based on the fact that you don't like that, and there's some things that might not really work on it, not like it will not work, but the way this is so contrasting and you are seeing it so clear and beautiful and sharp, you might not get the same feel on a white thing. So we might need to do a little bit of some tweaks in order to achieve something. It is very important that you are clear on expectation on both sides. Clear on it. Don't promise them heaven and earth when you're not going to deliver heaven and earth. Ensure that you let them know what is happening. Okay? That's understanding. Once you see that PRD, that document you are going to create, that brief document, it is very important for you. Don't lose it. Okay, because that's what's going to guide you all through the project. The next thing that I want to talk about is your research. After you've had this beautiful conversation, the next thing is to go and do your homework. Okay, from your client's conversation, you already understand that, okay, these people want to target children or they want to target adults. Still go and dive deeper into this target audience. Why, what, when, where, how, you know, where are they? How are you going to find them? What are the kind of things that they use? What do they use currently? How do they solve this problem currently? And all of those things. Once you're done with that, again, go back to your competitor's web platform. So those samples that they're sending to you, some of them will send you their competitors' website, some of them will send you their competitors' products. Okay. You start your analysis from there. Itemize those features that those ones have. Itemize the features that you already have for the project you're trying to work on. See what are these guys doing in common that you also need to do, you know? And what are they not doing that you need to do? What are they not doing well that you need to improve on your project? You need to sit down and think about all of this. When you're starting a project, do not make the mistake of entering into design immediately. Do not make the mistake of saying, oh, he wants a logistics app, right? Okay, let's just go to a Figma community and go and get a logistics template and change the color. You're not doing it right. You're not, that's not the work of a UX designer. You need to, you're like an engineer. You need to wire the experience. You need to wire the product from ground up. Okay? Once you're done with your competitors analysis, please document. hmm, Document your process. Your pre-RD should be well documented. Use Google Docs, use Canva documents, however way you like. It is your choice. The tool you use is not what defines the product, the success of your product. Use tools that are convenient for you to use, that are easy for you to use. You can use Google Docs. You can use, I used to use Google Docs, but I recently started using Canva Docs. It has been working well for me. After I gathered their requirement and all, I just share it with them. That, okay, this is what we talked about in our call. Kindly look at it and approve that we're on the same page. It's very important that you carry your stakeholder along. Don't go on a tangent, right? And just go and work and then come back and be expecting praises. It doesn't work like that. Once you're done with that, you have done your competitors analysis, whether you did it on Miro or you did it on FigJam or you did it on any whiteboard software, ensure that you do it right. All those stuff that I mentioned, ensure that you are there. Okay, the features, what is working, what should not work, what should be improved, and all of those things. Your target audience can also be on your Miro, your whiteboard, and likes. Once you're done with that, I just show that, okay, yes, we have a direction, we have people that we are facing. Then go and load yourself up, overdo yourself up on inspiration. Just go pick up your phone, pick up your laptop, and just be scrolling. Inspiration. Be feeding your mind, be feeding your head with inspiration of products that are similar to what you're trying to do. Sign up on applications, check on websites, go to Dribble, go to Behance, go to what's it called? There's this, I can't remember, but just you find them on the web, okay? You find them on the web. Just find them. Load yourself up with inspiration. And please, it is very important that as you're finding things that are pointing you in the right direction, take screenshots of them and store them and save them. Those are the kind of things that will make up your mood board. Okay, the color, the fonts, the feature, the way they design the particular page, your own page, your profile, all of those things, add them up, create a particular section for them in your, whether you're using Adobe or Adobe XD or you're using Sketch or you're using Figma, create a section for them and be putting them there, arranging them there. These guys will make up your mood board. Then the technical knowledge part. Okay, you might not always need it, but sometimes it is important for you to know what you need on your project. If you are creating a website for instance, right, and the client wants some crazy kind of animations, you need to know if your software can do what the client is requesting for. Okay, if not, you need to know that if you need to outsource them and you need to factor them. So for people that want to know about pricing before they embark on the project. These are the kind of things that you need to factor in. Because if you're going to be outsourcing it, you're going to pay that person, right? So you need to factor in the price of that in your pricing. Okay, so that's all about research. Define goals and create concepts. Create a brief. I already talked about that. Your PRD is your brief. It's either your client gives you a brief or you create one for yourself. If your client gives you a brief, you still need to go through it. You guys agree on what you want to work on, okay? Then your mood board, I've also talked about it. Those are the stuff that will make up your mood board. So you have mood board on features, on product likes, and then you can have mood board on the feel and the look of the project, like the kind of fonts, how it was used in some certain places, the kind of colors, how they use them, the tone that you want to achieve. You can have mood board on that. Then finally, you want to create your sketch. Either you write it on you create your sketch on a piece of paper, or you are comfortable doing it straight on your software, like mid-fi fidelity. It is left to you. Okay, for me, when I'm thinking about it, I prefer to quickly draw something down and annotate them. And then later on, because I'm not really good to drawing straight lines and all of those things. So I might not be able to present my paper to you because you might not get it. Although you might get it because I'm definitely going to annotate them. But then I will still have to put it on mid-fi fidelity for you so that you can clearly grasp it. Okay. And not everybody grasp wireframes. Yeah. So that's that. Create your sketch, and your ideas start coming together from there. Okay, so now again, for people that wants to know pricing, because if you're going to give somebody a pricing, your client or your stakeholder wants to know when you're going to deliver. So from your mood board, from the questions, from the key deliverables that you have itemized, you already know the quality and the quantity of work that needs to be done. So that already should give you an expectation of how much you might want to charge. All right. So put them in milestones. Okay, so for the first half of this project, we are going to do the onboarding, the profile, and the major screens. And that's going to take us so amounts of days. And then the second half of the project, we're going to do the customer page, the settings, and the likes. And then the other part, so you plan them like that, okay, and give an overall estimated delivery time, okay, and share with your client, and you both should agree. And you see, if you have this plan, so to create a price will not be difficult. A lot of people find difficult to create price because you don't even know what you want to work on. Somebody just called you up and said, "Oh, I need your UI expertise to do this filters," and they're already calling me and asking me for what do you want to charge? I'm not going to know how much you're going to charge because I don't even know what the person wants to do. You cannot just charge. You cannot just charge by just hearing the idea. You need to go and do some homework, break it all down, break down the features, break down the whole thing, the deliverables, what is required, what is not required, what external skills or technicalities will be required before you now come up with the price, and then you share with your stakeholder, and then you guys, agree on something. Okay, so gather all the necessary timelines and you're good to go. You can create your initial concepts. You see, in the course of you write drawing, your initial concepts are being created. That is your first initial concepts. So when I'm thinking about it, I'm drawing. Those are first. That does not mean that will be my final concept, but I've made progress. You understand me? So draw your wireframe and present it in probably a mid-fi or high-fi, depending on your conclusion or your agreement with your stakeholder or your client. If your client says they're good with paper wireframe, all you need to do is just present it to them. If they're there with you physically, you can show them. If it's going to be through a virtual call, ensure you annotate it properly so that they can understand what you're talking about. Share with them. All right. Please, again, do not go on a tangent and work on projects and then just come back and come and show your client stuff and assume that you know what they want. See, you don't assume you know what they want. You need to work with them. Okay. You need to work with them. They need to work with you. You need to carry them along. All right. So create your first concept, show your stakeholder, show your clients. Of course, they'll have something to say, they'll have feedback. Reiterate on them. Go back and create your second concept. Or if it's not second concept, go back and make corrections to what you currently have through your wireframe. Don't just hear the idea and just go and design for them like that. You understand? Ensure that you guys are on the same page. Okay, so create your initial concept, share with your stakeholders, get feedback, go and reiterate, correct, and do stuffs, okay? And then refine and reiterate, okay? Incorporate the feedback that they've given to you through the wireframe. If applicable, you can test. Of course, you cannot test on a paper wireframe, all right? So you might want to do a made file for you to be able to test. You can test in-house, all right? Depending on the budget, you can test in-house rather. You can test within the team, within yourself, with the client, the stakeholder that they are working together. You can test. All right. If not applicable, if everybody is good with the concept that you have created, and you have implemented the feedback, then you can proceed. Okay, you can proceed to creating your Wi-Fi. You understand? So organize your design in a clear and logical format. Explain your decision. That's why I said you should annotate. If it's a physical meeting or a virtual meeting, it's very important for you to annotate and then explain the decisions you have made to them. Don't expect them to assume or to understand why you have made certain decisions, because it's very important for them to understand why you made such decisions. There will always be feedback. Okay, there's no design that is ever done. There will always be feedback. You feel me? There will always be feedback for you. There's no design that is ever done. That's why we have updates every now and then on all our applications that we use. Because human needs are insatiable. Yes. You have to always cater for human needs. You have to always update their needs. So explain the reason why you have made certain decisions. Explain the reason why you have chosen to use your colors in certain way. Explain the reason why you have chosen a particular font. Explain the reason why you have, just explain your decisions and let them in a clear and, you know, and then get the approval. Please don't go and do stubbornness and say because you like the design and the person said they don't like it, but because you like it, you still go and do it for them. No, it's not yours to decide. You are not the owner of the project. And as a matter of fact, you are not the user. If at all you're going to make any consideration, it should be based on what you are both agreed with your stakeholder, your client, and again, most especially, what the user needs. Do not be biased and say, oh, I like that, put so much effort into it. I didn't even sleep overnight when I was working on it. And then he came and said he does not like it. No, yes, he does not like it, and that is fine now. Go and do something that he likes, but ensure that you have explained your decision behind it. If your decisions are okay and they see the good deed or they see why you have done it, they might agree with you. If they say, oh no, I don't think it works like that, then you guys can agree on something. Get approval. It's very important. All right. So before we deliver the final design, I don't know if I made mention of when when you're going to create your i5, that is your high fidelity design, the actual design that the user is going to see. But from from your refining and reiterating, of course, after you have created your initial concept and all of those things through your wireframes and all, okay, you can proceed to your i5. Okay, your first few screens, like I said, you already created a milestone. Don't forget that you have created your milestones, okay? So you already have the first few screens that you're going to design and present, okay? And you must have done your wireframe, and after then, your hi-fi, you put the prototype and let the client, the stakeholder, test it. If you have internal testers, let them test it. Okay, if everything is good, and approved, you can proceed to the other screens. You can proceed to the other screens. Okay. Don't proceed to other screens if your first initial screens have not been approved. If you send them message that did not respond, please don't go ahead. Wait for them to respond. Because except you are sure that you know that this is what this person wants, you are very, very sure. Okay, fine. But if your gut is telling you that you need to get approval on these things before you proceed to the other sections of the screen, please wait for them to reply you before you proceed. Because if you go on the tangents and then you come back and then there's a whole lot of feedback, a lot of criticism, a lot of, oh, this is not what we expected, oh, this is not what we wanted. That's a wasted effort. That's a wasted time and effort. You have to go back and go and redesign everything all over again. And you don't want to waste your time. Time is money. Okay? So after your initial concept, your wireframe has been approved, then go to your even though your wireframe has been approved, does not mean your i5 will be approved on the same level because wireframe is black and white, it's pen and paper. They still need to see how you put your colors together, how you come about the components and all of those things. Okay, they also need approval too. That is where the look and the feel comes to life. So that also needs approval. Don't say because, oh, he has approved the wireframe, so that's it. So in the milestones and all of those things that you have itemized, your first few screens that you have agreed upon, you can create them and share them and get approval on them before you proceed to the next phases of the design. Okay? And then you refine, of course. Again, there would always be feedback. Then test, like I said before, test. Then present your ideas to your stakeholder. So maybe when you have gotten to half of the project, you can do a quick, I just wanted to bring you guys on our progress. This is what we have, this is what we have. And but if you realize that there are some clients that at every point in time when you show them something, they always have something to change. They only have something to change. Then you have to use wisdom to deal with those kind of people because there's some people that you guys have created, you have agreed on something, but immediately they see what you have delivered, then they start changing the idea every second. There are people, no, there are people like that. Really, there are actually people like that. You understand? Like you need to use wisdom for them. In fact, you might even write a contract, like anything that we've talked about that is not here, that comes up later is going to attract extra charges. When you tell them that could work for some people. That might not work for some people. But you just need to know what works for your clients and deal with them with wisdom. Okay. Don't let them always change every single minute. Okay. Remember, if it's a new project and it's an MVP, yeah, you need somebody to come up on board to manage. Okay, so I do product managing, okay, for on the other side, aside from product design. Yes, and these are the kind of things that I like to solve. The idea of people changing design or scope every minute, it kills the project, it kills the wear one's out, wears out the designer or the team. So you need to learn how to say no. If you're not an expert in that um field, you might not really know how to say no or not yet to your stakeholders or to your clients. Okay, an MVP is an MVP. Don't overboard your products. Don't try to make your product perfect in the first place. Remember, Facebook that we have today is not the Facebook that we had back then. WhatsApp that we have today is not the WhatsApp that we had back then. Instagram that we have today is not the Instagram that we have. So some people want to do the entire of Instagram in one day. Please, if you are a product owner or you're a business owner or you are the client in quotes and you're listening, watching this video, give your life to Christ. Hmm? All right, so back to it. So deliver the final design after everything is on point and your code, deliver the design in appropriate format, send them the links. If they have developers that are going to bring on board, invite them to the file, give them access, you know. There's some people that don't know how to use your software. you want to do, so what I do is after I finish the entire project, okay, so I do a recording. I do a screen recording and show my stakeholder or my clients how to navigate through their projects. Okay. So I send them the recording, I show them, okay, you have to move from this page to this page, how to see the prototype, how to see where the wireframe is, how to present it, how to, you know, if you want to see, if it's a website, if you want to see only the web view, this is how you're going to do it. If you want to see only what the tab or the mobile view looks like, and you don't want it to, you don't want to be interrupted by a web view. I do all of that recording and then I share with them. And guess what? They always appreciate it because I make life easy for them. So please, designers, your goal should always be how to make life easy for people that you work with. All right. Don't say, oh, you don't want them to know how to use your platform. Guy, let them know how to use it because you don't want them calling you every minute and say, where do I find how to present? Where do I find how to do this? If you don't tell them, somebody else will. Like you're not the only one that has the knowledge. Okay, so, but you want to ensure that they have the right resources that they need to carry on with their project. Your work does not end there after you have delivered the project to them. Okay, your work does not end there. You want to ensure that just like you are designing a seamless experience for users, you want to also give your client and your stakeholders seamless experience working with you. Provide usage guidelines, style guides if necessary, depending on the kind of project that it is. If it's like I said, for me, I make recordings. If recordings does not work for you, you can annotate. Yes, you can annotate inside your file. You can link, you can use arrows to point them to different directions within the file. Okay. Then to follow up. Don't just finish it. Don't just finish and then you just say, I don't finish, oh, and then you just go and move on with your life. Hmm. Yes, it's good to move on with your life, but to follow up. After some few weeks, if you're not involved in the development process, after some few weeks, just reach out to them. Hey, hi, how are you doing? Just wanted to check up on you guys. How is your project going? It's not going to reduce or remove anything from you. Okay. That's where you would even know if they need help, if they need this, if they need that. Okay. Then if in the course of you checking up and then you realize that, oh, although we told you not to design this at that particular time, but we think we might need it. Sure, why not? Bring it on, but it's going to attract extra charges. That depends on you. If you don't want to, if you don't want it to attract extra charges, fine, it's all left to you. Everything's not really all about money. You understand? So these are all the things that you need to put in place or you need to factor in when you're starting out a new project. Okay, so let's go over them again. Understand the project you're working on, make research, do your own work, plan your timelines, plan your deliverables, define the project. Okay, create your initial concept, create your wireframe, create your i5, create your prototypes, refine, get feedback. Now, there's no one way to this, okay? We iterate. We iterate. So there's no you have to create first before you refine, or you have to deliver first, or you have to present first. No, however way it comes, you can create and present and refine and is you just have to iterate. You are not limited to how you work. I didn't, if you notice when I was explaining, I didn't say step one, step two, step three. I was just telling you that these are the things that you need to do. But it is very important for you to start from understanding the project, then do your research. That's always the first. Then you can plan. And then you're defining, you're creating, you're gathering of feedback, you're refining, and all of those things. Okay, there's no one way to it. Okay, but ensure that you do them. Present your idea, deliver the product to your follow-up. All right, so that'll be the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed this session. See you next time for another explosive session, or should we call it tutorial? Anyways, bye.